Alright, the lights are going on, and when they go out, the Nuke Prix of Holland is on the way. Here we are, folks. Very bad start by Jesse K. Kin. Absolutely horrendous. And through goes Strakovic. Third to first right away. Straight in without any gentle foreplay. Straight in. What an amazing start by Strakovic. But that didn't play out well if that was the original plan here. And now, back goes Maple. Cannot do that. On the outside goes the Vault-Tec of Frog. 3 cars wide into that chicane. Absolutely marvelous. Looking real good. And now they go into that banked turn towards the start-finish line for the first lap. It's a very short lap, as we already have discussed this. But there we go. Now goes through the blue car of Vault-Tec, and he's in the lead. There we go. Coming back at it again. Twig Frog, the American, back on P1 here. But that doesn't have to mean much. He retired two races in a row being in the front. So let's just see how this one will turn out in that regard. But coming back at it again because of how great that slipstream works. And there we go. Maple using that very thing into the first, on the straight into that first corner, and also keeping the lead with that. Nuke is back at it in the lead with Keyline Maple. Under threat from the blue car of Twig Frog, who's trying to get back at it now on the outside line there, and it works through that curvy section. It's very hard to overtake there, and he actually made it. Very great maneuver by the American, and they are so close together that you don't know what happens. And now, marvelous, Maple does the move that Frog did just the lap prior and cannot make it work. And it's still a very tense battle because those two, they are holding each other up. Is now Garrikis is coming through on the outside line, past both of them. Garrikis going through on the straight line on the outside to avoid any collision. Absolute fantastic move. And whatever happened to Strakovic, look at this. Strakovic down in P14. He dropped further down like an atom bomb. Whatever happened to Strakovic, he had a fantastic start at first lap, and suddenly his pace was lacking massively. But now it's the two blue cars, and now trying to oh my god, when I already see that shuffling back and forth, and through goes Keyline Maple. The two Vault-Tecs battling each other again on the cost of their own benefit, and through goes one of the Nuke-Colas, using that opportunity. As we now have here the focus on Fujio Toshi, and now he gets sandwiched by Maple and Frog. Luckily nothing happened, but that could have been an easy front wing gun for Frog. But everything worked out okay. But yeah, losing your front wing is never nice. If you lose the nose, that's literally pointless. You don't want that to happen in such an attack. And now sandwich again, but there's way more space, and it works out for Frog, who's now trying to keep the position from Maple. It's a close one. Maple coming back at it again for P2. Let's see how it will be in that turn 3. And they are still close together. This is not over yet. And now Toshi is trying to attempt to attack both of them. Very bold move by the Japanese driver, but it's not working out. He has to draw back, and there he goes. Really to the line. In Texas, it was a real photo finish, as we have here. Maple around the outside. Absolutely marvelous. Those three giving us really a tough battle to watch. And I feel like Frog is intentionally and deliberately trying to hold them up for Garrikis. I think like they really are going the tactic that was just talking about, playing a wingman there, so that they can finally score some points on the board. That's how it seemed to me right now. Because Frog was going way slower than Garrikis out of a sudden. And now side by side. Nuke versus Rat Rocket in that bank turn. Let's see how Toshi attempted on the inside line. Oh my god. That wobbling was dangerous. I don't know how Killer Maple was able to catch their car, but that was very dangerous. They're shuffling already on the main straight as if this was a game of poker. Frog really going low lap times here as his teammate is flying in the front there. Oh, we have yellow flags. Oh. There has been a major incident in Sector 2. It seems to involve both arc jets. I see both of them standing. One of them has a tire loose. Was that a collision between teammates? And we have a safety car as well. Not surprised. Now we have the replay. Stoparovsky out of the race because of an engine malfunction. And what happened? Snellisdotter sliding on the green and taking out. No way. No way. Both arc jets just after signing that deal out of this race, and now people are coming into the pits, and it's a total chaos at the Vault-Tec box. They were not prepared for this. They were not nobody was prepared for that one, and now he stands, and Frack losing a lot of time on his teammate there. Same goes for Chrysler's Kavega there, as we just saw that one. Absolute chaos unfolding right now on the track after this one. We have to see some more replays of that one, because that was a very, very unfortunate incident. Super unfortunate for ArcJet. They should not go gambling today because I'm afraid that fortune has ghosted them with not returning from getting cigarettes. So there we have it. That's Snellisdotter of Robka Racing. Doing a free freestyler on the ground. Oh, yeah. Free freestyler and bang. There you go. Oh my goodness. What an, unfortunate action for Arctic just after signing a deal with Sugar Bombs prior to this. It was a bomb indeed, but the sugar turned into salt. There we go. Oh, this is so painful to watch. Both arc jets out of the, there we go, Suliora. Yeah, and that front wing nose is broken. Absolute pointless, literally, and my goodness. That safety car really changed the strategy for everyone. Kilo Maple attacking on the outside line, and it works, but he's not passed yet. He's not passed yet. This could still get up. Let's see. It is, yeah, it is typical Vault-Tec luck indeed. It is absolutely crazy. And now Kilo Maple is leading, but let's see what happens on the main straight. On the inside line goes Garrickis again. And it's working out. Ah! Yeah, Maple tried to use that gap. And oh! Garrickis did bad in that corner. He was braking way too less. He was going a white line there. We saw that. He was making a little mistake in the braking zone there, offering an open door for Maple, who was trying to get through, and this is where they came together briefly. On through the outside. There we go. What a defense from Garrickis! Amazing! Look at that! Look at that! They're coming all together now again. It will be a full battle, just like we seen before the safety car. The exact four drivers. Toshi, Frog, Garrickis, and Maple battling for the lead again as Maple is trying to get through now. On the inside line, it's not working out yet. And now on the outside line of that bank turn, let's see if that will work for Nuke to maintain the lead. It does not. Trying to get some slipstream, and now through goes Twig Frock. Frock now leading the race. Oh no, there is! There we go! There are yellow flags. There we go. That's not a replay. That Nuke Cola really is that slow. That's not a slow-mo well, it is technically a replay, but not a slow-mo replay. And you don't have to be a nuclear physicist to see that Jesse Kaikin will not continue this race. The championship leader is out of this race. One might say that this is soda pressing. You got it because of Nuke Cola. As we have the two Vault-Tecs now battling for the lead, and now through, and oh my god, what a move by Kilo Maple out of the nowhere on the inside line. Truck goes wide, but still can catch it. But that was, dude, how fast was Maple on the main stride? And we have yellow flags again. Dude, whatever is going on with the yellow flags today, we're really waving them today a lot. Oh, I see Matt Mini. Matt Mini faces the wrong way. And we do not mean that politically. He's literally standing the wrong way around the racetrack in the Tarzan box. The first turn, maybe he wanted to play Tarzan, I don't know. But we'll have a look at that surely as we have a safety car yet again. Two safety cars within 24 laps. There's the replay. What happened? What has happened? And there's the spin. Oh. Luckily nothing further happened. Yeah, that's not how you get the Drift King title, but what happened? It's very hard to tell from that angle, but don't worry, we'll cover that. We'll not do news coverage like the commies. We'll give you all the perspectives to the scene as soon as we can. We just briefly want to check how the pit strategies look like, because we have enough time behind the safety car to review that in more detail. As yeah, Garrick is, I think that is. Yeah, coming into the pits, trying to adapt the strategy to that safety car there. Yeah, okay. All on his own accord. All on his own accord. Defending himself against numerous cars. There we go. Through goes Souza as well on the inside line. Amanda Souza, who already scored a podium in the first race in Texas, very keen to get one today here as well. As we have a battle between four different cars here for P2. As we have here a very intense battle for P3 between Toshi Maple, Souza and Hartley. They lost a lot of time on Garrikis, who can freely and safely now hunt down his teammate. There it is. There you go. Oh! That was too close again. The two teammates once again battling each other on a behavior which could be dangerous. There was a rapid movement there, but it worked for Garrikis, who's now taking the lead of the race, if I saw that correctly. This is how much has changed so far, but let's see. I mean, the race is long. We'll see how this one turns out. As now Frog is attacking Snallisdotter. How will she behave? We've seen that the Rupco drivers are extremely aggressive against their opponents, especially when they're under pressure. So let's see how that one will turn out. So now he's going in the, yeah, he's not using that gap. There we go. Now on the outside line, will that work? And it does not. Oh, even going briefly just so in the gravel. Just so that didn't work out for Frog, who's trying to gather position from Snallisdotter. The Rupco really holding up that Vault-Tec. Now on the outside. Oh! My god, that was close. Snallisdotter really going extremely aggressive. And they come together! Twig Frog now in the gravel as Snallisdotter was braking far too late. Far too late. Almost taking out Twig Frog here. Frog again against Snallisdotter. How will she behave? I don't know if I want to watch this. I don't know if I want to commentate this either. The toes are my goodness, the toes are curling up watching this on the inside line now. Will this work? Very far line. She's coming around the outside. Oh, outside line, but and closing the door. Very aggressive. It was within the regulation. It was within the... Well, it was harsh. It was harsh. Just imagine the emotions that this guy has to go through right now. 2 races in a row, he had to retire. And, oh, what a move! Coming back at it again, and he has to absolutely lunge back at it. My goodness, we don't get a minute here to breathe and catch up. Like, this is absolutely insane. And now he's coming back at it very fast with the slipstream. Very well played by Frog, and now he's having the gap. Ah! My god, that was close. My god, I cannot talk today anymore. This is too unnerving. I got so many grey hair just from watching this battle as we have dancing on the inside. Oh! Ping pong! I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was a back and forth for Key Lime Maple there. Back and forth between 2 cars there, but everything looking fine there. But Hartley really showing himself from a great side. He already did a very great performance back in Lombardia. He finished then in the end on P12. He lost a bit in the end, but he did a great performance overall as he comes through on the outside line. James Hartley for Mass Fusion. There we go. Very good move on the outside line through the Tarzan bocht. Now on P4, that's a lot of points on the board for Mass Fusion if they can carry that through. That'd be lovely to see them getting finally some points because the first 2 races didn't work out so well for them overall. There we go. Did I see this correctly that they're catching up to Snellistotter? Did I saw another car there, so I was just taking a sip from my drink. Yeah, it is Snellistotter. They indeed do. That car that is in the front there, Snellistotter on P3. All these cars could end up battling for P3. After all, if they manage to further catch up, because Snellistotter is not having a good pace here. He's around 1 second behind the average here. On old tires here. So that could be a podium battle. Oh, okay, everything fine. That could be a podium battle between both Red Rockets, Key Lime Maple, and James Hartley of Mass Fusion. If it doesn't rain. And, we had a butt cam there for Fujio Toshi. But at least they are keeping it clean hereupon. Let's see if that will remain like that. I could imagine that one of them would go to the pits any moment. Just to avoid that, because we saw others going to the pit as well, so that could work out. No, they don't. There we go. They stay out on track. As, oh my god, there's a lot of shuffling as they try to attack Snellistotter, who's now on the inside line there, trying to recatch that position, and indeed she does on old hard tires. Really doing a fantastic job here. And now the clouds are really uh-oh, will we get... Guys, it's getting dark here. It's getting super dark here. Will we get now? My goodness, imagine we will get some rain right now. That could change the entire course of the race again. And I feel like we see some drops raining from the skies right now. We indeed see some rain. Let's see how long they can stay on the dry compound tires before they have to change over. There we go. Vault-Tec is coming into the pits with Apollo Garrikis, and they're having intermediate tires. It's raining now from the skies. We are having now a whole change here again, but Vault-Tec was playing it very well here. They watched it closely. They're rarely coming in and changing onto the intermediate tires. There we go, there he is. Very well done by Vault-Tec. They were watching it. There's also Twig Frog, the big gap they were having. is playing nicely. Everyone coming into the pits right now for intermediate tires. It rains, folks, and now the entire race once again sees a major cause of change in actions here. So that really is how the whole field changed. And now Snell started coming back at it. What a move! She actually managed to pull that in the wet. Amazing move without slipping away too far. Reclaiming that position from Amanda Souza here. Absolute fantastic. Oh my God. Oh, it didn't come together. You cannot make this up. Amanda Souza crashing into the side pot of Snellesdotter. It looked like he completely misjudged that situation. What is happening here today? My God. There we go, we see the replay. Going on the oh, that is unlucky. That is, my God, miscommunication, basically. But this is a very intense battle here. As now, and there she goes. Snellesdotter sliding wide on the curbs, opening that door. And Amanda Souza says thank you and goes through. That makes it hard on this circuit to overtake when it's wet. And they actually are catching up to the front there, by the way. So both of them are doing actually a very good pace as well. As Danzig in the home Nuke Prix on P6 right now is losing time. And now on the outside line goes, on the inside line goes Kalich. Let's see. We saw a hand wave briefly by Macolina. I think he was not happy that she pulled that move. I don't know why he was waving his hand. That was everything within the regulations. So, she also kept it very fair. Seems like Macolina's patience is burning through. As through goes, there we go. We have Suliora who comes through here. They two are battling so badly that Enrico Soliora was managing to catch up and going through on that main straight into that first corner there, folks. There he is, look at him. We don't want another crash here. But I think it's just getting too wet. I mean, look at those puddles, folks. I think it's almost time for wet tires here. Just the way how much it rains here. It pours down right now. The spray is getting thicker with every lap. I'm afraid that we may need wet tires if this continues. We also saw some slight front wing damage there on the right hand side of that car for Danzig, who's now trying to overtake on the main straight in the slipstream on the inside line, and that seems to work. Closing the door. Danzig, learn it, and yeah, there you go. That's what you get for it when you close the door, when you move under braking. That's exactly what happens when you move under braking in wet conditions. That is just too dangerous. That is too dangerous. Okay, that was weird. Sorry about the black screen. There we go. And that is your race victor. Apollo Garrikis wins the Nuke Prix of Holland. Absolutely fantastic for Vault-Tec. They were battling a lot. They were having a lot of bad luck the first two races, and here we go. A total race time of 1 hour and 34 minutes. And that is your final result of the race, as we will have the podium celebrations shortly.